Good evening, everyone, all the way from Thailand. Today, I want to address the topic of do good guys finish last? Does being a good moral person make you finish last? And this topic is relevant because many of you are asking. Another reason why this topic is relevant and I wanted to share it is because this was something growing up that I was trying to figure out for myself. And it was so challenging because growing up, I always hear these things. Be a good person, do the right thing, be a moral person. And going to school at that time, being a teenager, being in high school, going to college, then I started to question if this was real or not, because it didn't make sense. Logically, I understood the concept, but when I looked at my outside environment, it didn't match. And it made me question, because is it really true? Why is it that I saw people who didn't do the right things? Again, this is no judgment call on anyone's lives, but I'm just sharing from a perspective and what I saw at that time. It was when people lied to get what they needed, when people cheat or steal or misbehave. And I saw that, wait, how come the bad boys at that time, they got the girls? How come they were so popular? They had the friends. They can speak any way that they want to speak. They can be aggressive. And then, wait, how come so many people like them? How come so many people gravitated to them? How come they were successful? They were popular? They had all these things, and for me, this is where it stemmed from, and it made me question. And it made me look at myself of, I grew up not so perfect, but I grew up with morals, the best that we were taught. We were taught to be a good person. Also for me, growing up with Asian family, we were taught just to be respectful, to do the right things, to be kind, to be sensitive, to listen, to respect authority, and I did the best I could. But again, it came back to the point of, wait, how come it seemed like everyone's passing me by? And by being a nice, kind person, then does it really serve me? And for me, this is the question that I wanted to answer and to explore. If you are in the situation where you can see the world the same, where when people misbehave, you can see that they're doing well in life. They're passing you by. How do we explain all of these things? But with that, let's go right into it. I'm going to explore many different questions, and hopefully by the end, it can tie all together. The first question you'll ask me is, why is it that people who aren't moral or people who don't do good things, why do they have such a good life? And we see real examples of this. People who may not be moral, they have a good living, they have status, they have fame, they have money, they have the lifestyle. And then when you look at your own life, you're like, wait, I'm just trying to be a good person. Why am I struggling? So why is it that these people have such a great life, or what can be perceived as such a great life? And I've asked this question myself. And one approach that can be helpful to explaining this is from the Buddhist lens. And from the Buddhist lens, it comes back to karma. It comes back to merit. Meaning when you do good, you get good. When you do bad, then bad follows. This is the fruits of it. And the way we explain it is that in the past, maybe past lives, these people have done good deeds. And the fruit of these good deeds are bearing fruit. Maybe they're rich in this lifetime because in the past lifetime, they gave a lot. Maybe they supported other people. Maybe they done these good things, good karma with good intention, and now it's bearing fruit. So now it's just showing up. So you'll see people very wealthy. very successful, very whatever, fill in the blanks. But then here's the second part. The first part is that the karma is bearing fruit. The second part that many people make a mistake on is they're not filling that merit. They're not adding to it. They're using the fruits of what they did in the past. But many people, if you do not fill it, if you do not continue to do good deeds, if you do not continue to make merit, then all of this will eventually run out. But this will explain why is it that some people who aren't doing the right things, why does their life look so positive? And again, it's because they've done positive things in the past. It's bearing fruit now, but also at the same time, it can run out. Or if they have the wisdom, they can continue to build and develop this. Another question that you'll ask is, how come people who do bad, will they get punished? And because again, it seems like they're getting rewarded. But a few things we need to clarify is, again, one, when we do good, good follows. When we do bad with the intention, then bad follows. This again is karma. This is just the laws. And just like gravity, no matter your background, no matter your race, no matter how wealthy you are, this is just the reality of life. So this is the first concept we need to understand. The second concept is that automatically what we do with the intention, there will be a consequence. But the thing is, when it bears fruit, we don't know. And many times we try to use our logic to see that, okay, if you do this, this should bear fruit right now. But it doesn't work that way. But for us, there is a consequence, but it's just the timing of that consequence when it bears fruit. Again, we're not so sure. The second part to add to this is, I'll say this as gently as possible, but don't worry about the other people. Let this karmic law take care of itself. It's not your job to punish them. It's not your job to make sure that they face the consequence, but the consequence will come. And when we know this law, then what is the most important part is tend to your own garden. Continue to do good for your life. Good meaning having good thoughts, having good speech, having good action, and every single day focus on your garden. I get it. Sometimes it may seem unfair. The world is not punishing other people. No, none of your business. And really use the wisdom to see how you can help your life the most, how you can set yourself up for a good life and success is, again, keep your eyes on you. Plant every day from today on. Just keep doing good, and eventually the good will bear fruit. And the bad that you have, get rid of them. As of today, discontinue it and no longer taking these actions, but continue to tend to your own garden. Another question you'll ask is, when will I see the fruits of my labor? Okay, Venerable Nick, I'm taking your guidance, I'm taking your instruction. You told me to do good things, do wholesome things, thought, speech, and action. I've been trying that for a week, for a month, a year. I don't see the results yet. I don't see when it's gonna bear fruit. So the question you have for me is, again, when will this bear fruit? And for me, I can't answer that because coming back to the garden analogy, it depends on what you're planting. If you're planting vegetables, celery, it has its timing of when it will bear fruit. How much you nurture it, how rich is your soil, how good is the environment that it's in, how much sun it's getting, how much oxygen it's getting, that will determine when it will bear fruit. If you're planting a mango tree, it starts with a seed, you're not gonna see the fruits of it for 5 years. If you're planting a apple tree, if you're planting roses and flowers, and for us in our life, we're setting ourselves up and we're planting different things in our garden. Some things will bear fruit very quickly. You'll see it in a couple days. Some things will take more time. Some things will take years. And whether you believe it or not, whatever background you come from, some things may even bear fruit not in this lifetime, but in another lifetime. But just continue to do good, continue to water your plant, and again, tend to your garden. Does being a good person means that I don't set any boundaries? And no, this is not what we're talking about, but you need to have wisdom. Being a good person doesn't mean that you're a doormat, you don't speak up. None of these where people are taking full advantage of you. When I talk about being a good person, it's being a moral person, doing the right things. And doing the right things means that, again, you're thinking is wholesome, think good thoughts. Your speech is wholesome, and also your actions are wholesome. When you do these things with the right intention, with pure, clean intentions, again, this will bear fruit. Also, the opposite is true. If you do these actions, thought, speech, and action, with unwholesome, not pure intention, then the opposite is also true, and the results, the consequence will bear fruit as well. So in this section of the video, I wanted to address what are the real benefits of being a good person. And I think this is key to address and to point out, because this is the real lasting long-term benefits that can come as a result of being a good person. So no particular order, but let's go through them one by one. The first one is that you build trust. People trust you. And this may seem small, but this is the foundation and this is the heart of everything. When we talk about building relationships, it starts with trust. When we talk about building relationship with ourselves, it starts with trust. Can you keep your word? Can you follow through? Do you believe in you? It all starts here. Building trust is something that many people overlook, but it's one of your biggest assets. It takes time to build. If you do not take care of this properly, instantly or overnight, it can come crumbling down. So if you have trust with yourself, if you have trust with other people, nourish it. Take care of this and continue to develop it. But trust is foundational and trust is so important. It's not easily acquired. So if you have that, again, well done and keep going. Having good friends. I mentioned this before many times, but on the spiritual path, on the path of life, how important is having spiritual friends, good friends? Is the answer 50%, 60%, 70%? And no, the real answer is it's 100% of the path. We need good friends. And when you're a good person, this is what you'll attract to you. The way that we are, our habits, the way that we behave, it's going to attract that same person. If you're a good person, when a person who is not moral, who is not wholesome, comes around you, it doesn't match. It's like oil and water. So I find that being a good friend, you're going to attract other good people. They will come to support you. And this is another key point and benefit of being a good person. People will want to be around you. How many times have you been with people who are just consistently complaining, consistently seeing the bad in others, criticizing, and maybe in that moment you can relate to them, but I think long-term wise, it's exhausting and it's draining. And for most people, we want to be around people who are positive, people who are kind and trustworthy and supportive. And just think of yourself where if you have a day off, who do you want to be around? Well, you want to be around good people. So one of the benefits is that people naturally will gravitate to you. People will stand up for you and defend you. So when you are a good person, people just have that good relationship, good connection with you. When they have a good connection with you, they'll want to have your best interest in mind. They want good things for you. When people say things that are untrue, when people say something that have ill will and not the best intentions, when they're around or when you're around, then other people naturally will defend you. Even when you're not around and people are talking behind your back, these types of people will come to protect you. They will want to make sure no one is harming you. They want to make sure that someone is coming to your defense. And I find that being a good person, this will also show up. People want to help you. When you are in need of something big or small, whether they can or can't, they will do their best to offer their services. They want to support you because, again, of all the good things that you've done, that type of person that you are, naturally people want to give back. And I found for my own life is that no matter where I'm at, and any time that I have some kind of issue, for some reason, I always have good people to come offer a hand. They'll come offer emotional support. Some people will offer good advice. Some people will help me provide resources that I don't have. But this is also another benefit of just being a good person. But other people will come to help and assist you in your time of need. Positive reputation. This is quite important. We heard the saying before where your reputation follows you. How people experience you, this can follow you along for the rest of your life, or if not, a majority of your life. And our reputation is so important because this is the word that people have of you. This is the experience that they have of you. And from this, then anytime there are good opportunities, anytime there are options for you to take, then your name, then you will come in mind because they know and they trust that with you, you won't cheat, you won't lie, you're a good person, you'll do the right thing. And again, they trust you and they want to give you this opportunity. But this reputation of people saying good things about you, whether you're there or you're not there, can be so important. You have deeper connections. And as humans, this is a quality that many people are looking for. This is an interaction that people crave and want in their lives, where we just want to connect with others. And I find that when you are a good person, it's easier to connect because people trust your intention. People trust that when you speak, it's truthful. And when you're truthful, what happens? In relationships, their walls come down. People are more vulnerable. People share more. People share truthfully. People share good things and honestly. And when these conditions are present, automatically our relationship with the others will be so much closer, so much authentic. And this leads into the next point of it makes us happier. It gives us more meaning and purpose and connection, that we're part of a bigger whole. We have other people that rely on us. We have good friends, we have that trust. This is another key point that comes with being a good person. It makes your mind bright. It makes your mind bright is because when you do the right things, when you do things with pure intentions, then you don't have to worry. You don't have to watch your back of, oh, I said something that was manipulative, I was deceitful, and now you're worried of, oh, will they find out? Will they know? Will people expose me? What will they think? And again, if you did these things with proper intention, you can go to sleep at night. You're not up just wondering, worrying, and again, peace of mind can be overlooked. And I think nowadays, this is what is needed more. And when you live as a good, honest, pure person, then you can sleep at night respecting yourself. You can lay your head on your pillow at night not worrying. Again, this is another positive perk of being a good person. But there you have it. These are some of the things that just came to my mind around this topic. For myself, I lived both of these paths. I'm not a perfect person where I made no mistakes, not at all. But the way I grew up is I behave how I behave with what I knew at that time. I did things that were not so wholesome, not so proper. They can even be shady at times because I thought maybe that path would have good consequences and results. And for myself, I just found that that was not the right view. That was the wrong view. And now throughout my life, I've been able to see, and I do believe for myself, is when you do the right thing, good things will follow. And I share this because ultimately you will have to make this decision for yourself. Just know that it comes back to karma. Again, when you do good, good will follow. When you do bad, bad will follow. And you have to test this for yourself. Is this true? And does it make sense for your life? All I can do is share my own personal experience. All I can do is share the natural laws of karma. All I can do is then to encourage you to test and explore and reflect and examine and see, is this a truthful statement? And what I have found for my own life is that good guys don't finish last. In the end, long term, the benefits that will come into your life at the proper timing is worth the wait, and it's worth being a good, kind, loving person with pure, honest intentions. But just food for thought. But I hope this resonates with you. But as always, I just wanted to send you my blessings all the way from Thailand. Again, hope this was helpful, and take care everyone. Satu.